Yeah. Good morning, all. We will continue with the conjugate beam method. Now, can anyone tell me some points about conjugate beam method? We are finding the slope theta, theta A, theta B, okay, and the deflection in conjugate beam method. So how do we get the slope and deflection? Unlike in moment area method, that is different and this is different, right? So what do we have to find, or what is the steps that is going to be carried out when we draw the conjugate or use the conjugate beam method? Can anyone? We interchange the supports. So there is a concept of real beam and conjugate beam, right? No, real beam and conjugate beam. What is a real beam? The question that is given to you, they give a beam and the type of a loading and a type of a support, that is a real beam. Okay, to in that beam they ask us to find the slope and the deflection. Now to find the slope and the deflection, we draw a conjugate beam, that is the imaginary beam, right? And then on that beam, sometimes we shift the supports. For example, if you have a cantilever beam like this is support A and this is support B. How we draw the conjugate beam? In a conjugate beam, this will be B only, this is A, but B here is free, and in conjugate beam, B becomes fixed, right? So majority change is only in the cantilever beam. If we have a simply supported or a one hinge and one roller, then it will remain same, no much changes. One more thing is, if it is a overhanging beam like this, then this overhang portion, this support near the overhang, it will be called as an internal hinge, right? So what happens? These are the figures which are showing the support condition of real beam and the corresponding conjugate beams, right? So with respect to this, this is the conjugate beam. With respect to this, in this case, it will be same. So this is the conjugate beam. With respect to this, this is a conjugate beam, right? So in summary, if we want to say a free end becomes, this is a free end becomes a fixed end becomes a free end, right? And a simple support remains a simple support. Also, the overhanging support becomes a internal hinge, right? Then there are some sign conventions that we had to use when we were drawing the conjugate beam method. Can anyone tell me? Positive bending moment, that is sagging, a positive bending moment which we get like this. A positive bending moment in a real beam is shown as a downward load in case of a conjugate beam. This is a real beam, a conjugate beam. So a positive bending moment is shown as a downward load in case of a conjugate beam. Then a positive shear force. So how are our shear force diagrams like this? So this is positive, this is negative. Or if it is a UDL throughout, you will have positive and negative, right? So a positive shear force in a conjugate beam is, positive shear force in the conjugate beam corresponds to the positive slope. So if I have a positive shear force, it gives me a positive slope, right? In case of a conjugate beam, this is the methodology or steps that have to be followed. Clear? Then we had started, I think, with one of the numericals. Before that, there were two theorems. Can anyone remember what are the two theorems? Both the theorems are nothing but to find the slope and deflection. So how do I get the slope in case of a conjugate beam? Can anyone tell? I'll have to take your names again, is it? How do I find the slope in conjugate beam? The slope at any point is equal to what? The slope at any point in a conjugate beam is going to be equal to what? The shear force at that point, right? The slope at any point, if they are asking you to find the slope of a particular joint or a support, that means I need to find the shear force at that particular point of the conjugate beam. The shear force of what? Of conjugate beam. Matlab, first I need to draw the shear force diagram, bending moment diagram for a real beam. From that conjugate beam I'll draw, and on the conjugate beam I have to locate the shear force at that point, that is the slope. And how do we find the deflection? Deflection is nothing but the theorem 2. The deflection at any point of a beam is equal to what? The bending moment at the corresponding point. Okay, the deflection is going to be equal to the bending moment at the corresponding point. Corresponding point of what? Conjugate beam. Bending moment diagram you can say, or just bending moment you say also is fine. Right? So numericals are how? They ask you to find the slope, you will find the shear force at that point. If they ask you to find the deflection, you will find the bending moment at that point. Clear? So this was the basics. We have already taken up one of the numerical. We'll go ahead with the next set of numericals. Okay. Any doubts you have? You want to? Shall we continue? Yes, no. You can reply or you can put it in the chat box, please. Shall I continue with the next example? Put it into the chat box. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Okay. So we will take up a next. I think first we took a cantilever beam. First example was a cantilever beam with a point load. Today we will take a cantilever beam with a UDL. Okay. So a cantilever beam like this. This is support A. This is support B. It has got UDL throughout like this. Okay. The UDL is W kilonewton per meter or W per meter. It is of your choice. The cantilever beam loaded with a UDL as shown in the figure. We have to calculate the slope and deflection at the free end. So if I call this as A and this and B, I want a theta B and I want a delta B. That is the slope and the deflection at the free end. So span is given as L. Okay. This is the span. Now this is a real beam. So what are the reactions in case of a real beam? There is going to be a reaction RA here, or vertical. There is going to be a reaction RB here, which is horizontal. And then there is going to be a movement which is called as MA, correct? For a fixed support, we have three reactions, that is horizontal, vertical, and a reaction. Moment. So these three are the reactions at the fixed. So we'll show the reactions first, and then we get a positive bending moment or a negative bending moment in case of cantilever beam. Tell me, positive bending moment or a negative bending moment?
Negative.
Negative bending moment. It goes like this. Correct? It is going to be a negative bending moment. And this side, its magnitude is what? The magnitude of the bending moment is nothing but W into L is a total load. It is a UD also L by 2. Right? Bending moment at A, in case of a real beam, is W into L into L by 2, that is WL square by 2. So this is M by EI I'll be drawing. So if I say M by EI diagram, so it is going to be WL square by 2EI, okay, with a negative sign. Why negative sign? Because it is a negative bending moment. So this is your M by EI diagram, that is bending moment diagram or M by EI diagram. Now we will apply summation H equal to 0, that is all the horizontal forces. From that I get to know that I wrote RB H AU, right? HA equal to 0. If I take all the vertical summation F of Y or summation V equal to 0, if I take, then RA becomes equal to, what is RA equal to? Here? How you will get the value of RA? RA is and the load that is coming down. So RA minus W into L is equal to 0. All the vertical loads. So RA is an upward load and W into L is a downward load. So RA minus W into L equal to 0. Or what is the value of RA? It is W into L. Okay, W into L. Then if I am writing summation M equal to 0, that means I want to find the moment. It is nothing but WL square by 2, that is minus W into L by 2. W L square by 2 with a negative sign because it is a what type of a beam? Cantilever beam. Now, when I was talking of the conjugate beam method, if I have a positive bending moment diagram, here I should, positive bending moment diagram, the signs are downwards on a conjugate beam. And if I'm going to have a negative bending moment diagram, that means these signs will go upward. So look how I'm going to draw the conjugate beam. So let us draw the conjugate beam. Now, when we are drawing the conjugate beam, remember this is a cantilever. So this cantilever end becomes free end and this free end becomes a cantilever now. So the diagram goes like this, right? So this becomes B point becomes the fixed, A point becomes the free. The bending moment or of the conjugate beam, we will draw it as it is, like this. And arrows will be shown upwards. Okay? Upwards because it is negative. If it was a positive bending moment diagram, it would have been downward. So this is the span that is L. This is WL square by 2EI only. That will not change. We calculate WL square by 2EI. This will remain as WL square by 2EI only. Clear? This is a conjugate beam. Now, in this beam, if I want to find the shear force at this point, shear force, or if I want to find the slope at this point, slope at this point means the shear force at that area. So if I'm starting from here or here, I know the shear force value, right? So shear force value of that point will be the slope at this point, and bending moment would be what? Bending moment would be the moment of this area. Correct? So first what we will do, this is a parabola. So what is the area of a parabola? Anybody? You know? What is the area of the parabola? It is going to be 1/3 base into height. Half base into height is triangle. 1/3 base into height is the area of a parabola. So write that. 1/3 base is L. Height is minus WL square by 2EI. So this is going to be minus WL cube divided by 6EI. Correct? This is what the area of the parabola. Correct? Now if I'm drawing, I'll draw it once again here, conjugate beam, because I need to explain something. This is how your conjugate beam is, right? Upward, correct? This is A and this is B, this is L. Now this is something like your UVL, uniformly varying load, and uniformly distributed load also is there, which is directly equal to W into L for the total load. Whenever it is uniformly varying load, you take the area of this. That is why when it is a triangle, you take half base into height. If it is a parabola, you take the total load to be 1/3 base into height, and whose solution we have got minus WL square L cube by 6EI. Now where is this going to act? This is going to act at the CG. CG of a parabola is like this. Right? This distance is going to be 3/4. This distance is going to be 1/4. As good as a beam. And at this point is your load acting, that is minus WL cube by 6EI. And this is 3/4 of L. And this is 1/4 of L. Okay? As good as a point load. Now, once you draw the conjugate beam, and if it is a UDL, convert into point load, or if it is a UVL, convert it into a point load, and you keep this. Now we will write for theta equation. Theta B, that is equal to slope at B. Okay, theta B equal to slope at B. Slope at B is nothing but what? The shear force at this point. So when I write the shear force, here nothing is there, this will be there. What is that value of this? That is area of the parabola. So shear slope at B is nothing but the shear force at point B, which is nothing but the area of parabola. In this case, because it is a UVL or a UDL. Or if you don't want area, look into this beam. I want the shear force at this point. Here and all there are no load, here there is a load, here all there are no loads. That means this value is itself the shear force value, right? So shear force at B you will write as 1/3 base into height is minus WL square by 2EI. That means it is minus WL cube by 6EI, theta B. Okay, that is the theta B, that is the slope at point B. Similarly, on the same basis, if we want to find the deflection, deflection at B is given by YB. How I get the deflection? Deflection is nothing but the moment of M by EI diagram. Moment of M by EI diagram. That's why delta B or YB, deflection at B, is given by, if I'm taking the moment of this, it is going to be this load into 3/4 of L. What is this load? This load is minus WL cube by 6EI. So load minus WL cube by 6EI into the corresponding perpendicular distance, that is 3/4 of L. Okay, so open the brackets. YB is now going to be equal to minus this 3 goes with here, okay, minus WL raised to 4 divided by 8EI. Clear? Slope and deflection for a cantilever beam with UDL. What is the first step? Draw the regular bending moment diagram and calculate the moment value at this point. This is a negative bending moment, right? Then calculate the values of the reaction. So once you calculate the values of the reaction, draw the conjugate beam. In the conjugate beam, your fixed end becomes free end and your free end is going to become fixed end. Draw that, show the conjugate loads. Now, how will you show the conjugate loads? If it is a negative bending moment diagram, the arrows are going to point upwards. If it is a positive bending moment diagram, the arrows will be pointing downwards. So based on that, draw the conjugate beam. This is a parabola. So when I want to find the slope matlab shear force, and for shear force I need the area. So what we will do, this is your conjugate beam, and this I will convert to a beam with only a point load. So now whenever we have a triangular load and I want to convert it to point load, what you do, you take the area of the triangle. So similarly here, to convert this into a point load, I will take the area of this parabola. Area of the parabola is given by 1/3 base into height. You get the value, you keep it here. Now this is the beam, this is the point load, that is W minus WL cube by 6EI. 1/4 of L and 3/4 of L are nothing but the CG distances from points A and B. Then let us calculate the slope. Slope theta B or slope at B is nothing but the shear force value at point B. For shear force, I will be taking the value of the force. That is area of this. So when I take the area, that becomes W L cube by 6EL. Then when I'm finding the deflection at point B, it is going to be the area or the moment of the M by EI diagram, moment of area. So this is the value of the point load and 3/4 of L, because the value of P is here and this distance is 3/4 of L. So YB is going to be equal to load into 3/4 of L, that is CG. It becomes minus WL raised to 4 by 8EI. This is nothing but the deflection. This is the slope. Clear? You will have such examples only coming in your examinations also. Okay, so if you have examinations held or in your GATE exams, or if you are taking any PWD exams also, you will have, in short, they will ask you, they will give you these formulas as the solutions, objective mein, and they tell you it is a cantilever beam with a UDL. You're supposed to do this procedure and obtain this point. Clear? This is one of the numericals. Let's go to the next example. An example for the day is determine the slope and deflection we have to find of a cantilever beam with a couple. So it is like this. This is a cantilever beam given, okay, whose length is L, and it has got a couple M acting like this. Clear? So free end pe there is couple, no other loading is given. Determine the slope and deflection of a cantilever beam with a couple M acting at the free end as shown in the figure. Right? Now, based on this, first I will do what? I will show the reactions. So I will have a HA, I will have a VA, and then I'll have a rotation MA. So these three are the reactions at fixed support, and this is the free support. Now, based on this, when I apply the equations of equilibrium, summation f of x equal to 0, when I say how many horizontal forces are there? Only one. That is HA, which is equal to 0 because there is no other force. Then I take summation f of y equal to 0, all the vertical forces. So I have only VA. So VA equal to 0 because only one is there VA, so VA equal to 0. And similarly, I take summation m equal to 0. That is moment of all the forces. Now there is no force, so that moment will not come. This moment will come, right? So MA here I have shown negative. So minus MA plus M is equal to 0, or MA value is going to be equal to M. That means moment at A is going to be the value of or magnitude M, and here also the value of moment is going to be M only. So how do we draw the bending moment and the conjugate beam method now? So this is your actual beam, and this is the rotation M, this is the length L, right? For this, when I draw the bending moment diagram, this is going to be a negative bending moment diagram, right? So here, this is a negative or a positive bending moment diagram? Negative or a positive bending moment diagram?
Negative.
Negative bending moment. So it is going to be like this. M, uniform, it is everywhere. So it is going to be a rectangle and the arrows will be upward because it is a negative bending moment. Right? Now, what is the value of this? M by EI, minus M by EI, and this L remains as it is. So this is what, this is the bending moment diagram. If I want to draw the conjugate here only, fixed end becomes free end is going to become fixed end, like this. This is the conjugate beam, wherein fixed end became free, free end became fixed. L is same. The magnitude of moment is going to be m, and it is a negative bending moment for this beam. So I will show all the arrows upward. In one diagram only I show. Now they have asked us to find what? The slope and deflection at point B. Theta B and delta B is what we have to find. To find the theta B, that is at this point, I need the shear force at this point. Now to calculate the shear force at this point, this is a rectangular loading or a UDL. A rectangle and UDL are same. This looks like a UDL only, correct? So how do I get the value of theta B? Any guesses? Theta B is nothing but shear force at B, right? So this is acting like a load now. This is M by EI is the load, magnitude of the load, and I want the value at this point. So shear force at B. So when I'm calculating shear force at B, this if I reduce it to a point load, so M into L becomes the value of the point load, which is acting exactly at the center, L by 2, L by 2. This is M by EI into L. 4 kilonewton per meter raha, so 4 into L will become your load, no? Similarly here now it is M is the name as moment, but it is like your load. So M into L becomes the point load at the center. So when I'm finding the shear force at B, it is going to be minus M by EI into L. Okay, so when I'm finding the shear force at this point, it is nothing but what? Area of this. Area is going to be what? M into L. M by EI into L. So M by EI into L with a negative sign gives us what? The theta B value. That is the slope at point B. Now if I want to find YB value, that is the deflection. Deflection at B is calculated by taking the moment of M by EI diagram. So when I'm taking the moment of M by EI diagram, M by EI is the load and it acts, a moment when I'm taking here at a distance of L by 2. So YB is going to be force into L by 2, W into L by 2, no? So minus M L by EI into, it's not visible, into L by 2. ML by EI into L by 2. So what is deflection? Minus ML square by 2EI is the deflection at point B. Okay, so this is a cantilever beam with a moment alone. So what we do, there is a moment. So you will draw the bending moment diagram and conjugate beam. In conjugate beam, this becomes fixed, this becomes free. This is the conjugate. So when I'm finding the shear force theta, or when you're finding the slope theta, for that I will require the shear force of this M by EI conjugate beam. Right? So shear force, if you want to calculate here, it is going to be nothing but the area of this. That is M by EI is the magnitude into L. Correct? Here. And then we have to find the deflection. For deflection, now here it is acting at the center. This force into the L by 2. Now this force is M by EI into L by 2. So you get the deflection at point B. Clear? Any doubts? Okay. I'll go to the next example. Third example. Calculate the slope and deflection of a simply supported beam carrying a point load at the center. So there is a simply supported beam like this. This is B, this is A. There is a point load at the center which is W. That point is called as point C. Actually the length of the beam is L and the point is at the center. So it is L by 2 and L by 2. Correct? This is a simply supported beam with a point load at the center. Now based on this, if I draw the UDL of this, if I draw the bending moment diagram of this, the bending moment diagram is going to be like this. What is this magnitude? Can anyone tell me? For a simply supported beam, what is this magnitude?
WAB by L.
WAB by L. A ಮತ್ತು B ಬೇರೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ. Here A ಮತ್ತು B same ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ A into B by L, right? That makes it WL by 4EI. Okay, simply supported beam with the point load exactly at the center, L by 2 and L by 2. The value of the bending moment is WL by 4. Okay, this is nothing but your M by EI diagram. Now, based on this, when I draw the conjugate beam, we know that for conjugate beam, both simply supports will remain as simply support. I have to just draw the conjugate beam. Now, this is a positive bending moment. So, when there is a positive bending moment, the arrows will come downward. So, here I do that line wrong. This is your triangle which has to come, and the arrows are bottom like this. A and B arrows are coming down. Here value is WL by 4 EI. This is L entire. This is L by 2. This is L by 2. Correct? This is my conjugate. Now, because it is a simply supported beam, your conjugate beam and your regular beam will look same. Only in case of cantilever it will change. Okay. So once this is done, I need the shear force. How you draw the shear force in case of a point load? Shear force diagram. So we have to calculate the reactions. No? To calculate the reactions, summation f of x equal to 0, so no horizontal forces. Summation f of y equal to 0 when I take, I'll say Ra plus Rb minus W equal to 0. Ra plus Rb minus W is equal to 0. Ra equal to Rb equal to W by 2 you will get, because it is a symmetrical beam. So this weight W is going to get divided here and here equally, that is W by 2. So the values of reactions Ra and Rb are going to be W by 2. This we have done in strength of materials. So when I draw the shear force diagram, at point A I'll have WL by 2. At point B also I'll have WL by 2. Correct now? And then I join these two. This is nothing but the shear force diagram. Clear? Ra plus W by 2, Rb minus W by 2. Here it is from strength of materials. Clear? So then for this we have to write the conjugate beam. I mean this is only our conjugate beam. The moment I show the arrows, conjugate beam. So we have calculated first the support reactions. We calculated first the support reaction, that is Ra equal to Rb, which is equal to W by 2. M by EI diagram, okay, is going to be equal to what? From this I want bending moment at point C. Bending moment at this point C. How I'll get the bending moment at C? Ra into L by 2. Ra into L by 2. What is the value of Ra? We got WL by 2. WL by 2 plus, sorry, into L by 2. What is this value? L cube by 4. Correct, no?
Ma'am, it's W by 2.
Yeah. I changed here. Ra is W by 2 into L by 2. That makes it WL by 4. Correct. Bending moment. We are aware of this. I took previous UDL. Sorry. W by 2 into L by 2. That makes it WL by 4. So we know the bending moment at this point WL by 4. Actually, we should calculate all and then we have to write here. But I first solved here and then calculated. So once you do that, let us calculate the slope and deflection. Now, slope is the shear force on conjugate beam. Correct? Now this is my conjugate beam. Conjugate beam का shear force मतलब what? Conjugate beam is a UVL now. Right? So if I want the shear force here, Ra plus Rb is equal to this force that is coming down. What is this force that is coming down? It is the area of these two triangles. Understanding? This is a UVL now. Till here what you did? Okay, that was strength of materials. Now from here on, conjugate beam once you draw, the slope and deflection when I take. So for slope I need the shear force. For shear force I need to calculate shear force matlab Ra Rb for this beam now. Clear? So we will have to write that beam. I'll just note it here. This is your B, this is your A, RA, RB, right? The loads are coming like this. This is the center point. This is L by 2. This is L by 2. I know this value. This is WL by 4 EI. Correct? Now this forms a triangle. This also forms a triangle. There are two triangles. Either you can take together one big triangle, that is W, a half base into height, half base height. Or you want to take it as two individual triangle, that time you will take half, base is L by 2, height is this, base is L by 2, height is this again, like that. Clear? So first let us find the shear force and bending moment diagram of conjugate beam. So when I take summation f of y equal to 0, I have to find the reactions, no? So summation f of y equal to 0 may, it is RA plus RA plus RB minus, let us take this whole triangle as one, minus half base WL by 4 EI equal to 0. Half base into height, which is equal to 0. So what is RA plus RB equal to now? It is this WL square by minus WL square by 4 to the 8 EI. My video got stuck? Minus WL square by 8 EI, that is half base into height. Height is WL by 4. VA plus VB is this. Now from here, if I want to find the value, VA or RA plus RB, if I want to find this value, I have to take the moment. So when I say summation MA equal to 0, I have to take a moment of this. RA is gone. And this triangle separately. So, or once you can take of your choice, anyhow of your choice. Usually we take separately because I know the CG of this is here and the CG of this is at this junction. So for that I need the loads at this point. Now this is going to be half, base becomes L by 2, height becomes how much? WL by 4. And for this also it is going to be half, base is L by 2 and height is WL by 4 EI. Right? Now when I'm writing moment at A, it is going to be this half base into height is becomes the force into this distance. How much is this distance? This is 2/3 of L by 2. And when I take the moment because of this side triangle, this load is half base into height only. And distance would be this now. That is L by 2 plus 1/3 of L by 2. Okay. So basics are very important over here. So when I'm taking moment at A, first triangle I'll take. Two triangles are there. So first triangle is half base into WL by 4 EI. What is this? Half base into height gives me the load. Where it is acting CG, this point CG is what? 2/3 of L by 2. Okay? Plus this half base into height now. Next triangle. So half base into height WL by 4 EI into perpendicular distance. This is L by 2 plus 1/3 of L by 2. This is L by 2 plus 1/3 of L by 2. Anything else? Minus RB into L. Minus RB into L is equal to 0. Open the brackets from this. Right? WL square by 4 to the 8 to the 16. So WL square by 16 EI into 12 by 6 you have to do. Then here plus this again is same. Here it changes. This becomes L by 6 plus L by 2 and then RB into L. From here you get the value of RB. Anybody has solved? RB value will be WL square by 16 EI. Okay, RB value is WL square by 16 EI. This will be same as RA because it is a symmetrical pattern, right? Symmetrical beam. So RA and RB are going to be same. So RB I found, that is WL square by 16 EI, which is going to be same as RA. So you can write RA also is WL square by 16 EI. Once you find the RA, RB, now using this reactions, I have to take the bending moment and the shear force. Clear? So when I write the slope, okay, slope at A means what? Shear force at A. Slope at A means shear force at A. Shear force at A is what? Is reaction A. In a beam, when I say this is A, slope at A means the reaction at this point, shear force at this point. What is that value? That is nothing but RA. What is the value of RA? W L square by 16 EI. Okay. Same way, slope at B is nothing but shear force at B point. That is nothing but RB, which is also WL square by 16 EI. Clear? So directly we will get, but this step is important. Taking the moments is important. So slope at A and slope at B, that is your theta A and theta B. Then we have to write for deflections. What is deflection? Deflection means it is the bending moment of M by EI diagram of conjugate beam. I have to take the moment of what? I have to take the moment of this points or moment of this area about the particular point. Now where I have to find deflection? Deflection at point C, because deflection at A and B will not be available. So delta C, that is deflection at C, is nothing but bending moment at value at point C of the conjugate beam. Bending moment value at point C of the conjugate beam. Now look into this figure. If I want the bending moment at this point, at the center point, how will I get? It is going to be RA into L by 2 minus this area into 1/3 of L. Correct? I'm telling I want the bending moment at this point on this beam. If I want the bending moment at this point, it is RA into this distance, that is L by 2 positive, and minus area of the triangle into this distance, that is 1/3 of L by 2. So we have to write that for deflection. So I'll write, just check. First it is RA into L by 2 minus area of the triangle, right, into 1/3 of L by 2. This force is nothing but area of the triangle. Force into, L by 1/3 of L by 2, right? So force is area into 1/3 of L by 2. Substitute the value of RA. What is the value of RA? W L square by 16 EI into L by 2 minus area of the triangle we had already calculated, small triangle, that is half, base is L by 2, height is WL by 4 EI into L by 6. You have to simplify this. This becomes WL cube by 16 into 2, 32 EI minus here this is also WL cube by, right? So on simplifying this, we get the deflection value, that is delta C or YC equal to WL cube by 48 EI. These also act as a formula, like for a simply supported beam with point load or simply supported beam with UDL, right? What is the deflection at the center? It is given by WL cube by 48 EI. These are your again 1 mark objective question in government examination or gate examinations. So you should know this, right? How we got it? So for this particular case, right? UVL, draw the conjugate beam. Once you draw, it was what? It was a, sorry, not a UDL, it was a point load. So from point load, you will draw the bending moment diagram. From the bending moment diagram, you will draw the conjugate beam. So it will be a triangular. So when I'm having a triangle, I have to calculate the reactions first, RA and RB, using this triangle as the load. So triangular loading means uniformly varying load. It is triangle in nature. So load magnitude is area of the triangle, and CG would be 2/3 and 1/3 from the 90 degree. So based on that, you will calculate the slope. Slope is going to be the value of RA only, and slope at B also is value of RB. Deflection, when you are calculating, it is a moment of the M by EI diagram. So when I take moments, it is going to be the bending moment at point C of the conjugate beam. So bending moment means this is your conjugate beam. So RA into L by 2 minus this load because of the triangle into 1/3 of L by 2. So substituted that, and I've substituted the values of RA, etc. We get the deflection at point C. Any doubts till here? Anybody's got any doubts? Yes, no, put it on the chat box.